Yesterday I heard Joseph Harawira and Kiriama Akuhata talk about 100 Māori men in whakataane on a sickness benefit because of exposure to PCP and other chemicals between 1950 and the 1980s. They didn't ask for this, a destiny that was predetermined. Importation of Pacific labour in the 60s and 70s, then the systematic dumping of them when the economy shrank, and then we've seen the repeat behaviour today for migrants that came between 2001 and 2006, where Patricia talked yesterday about 72% Pacific unemployment compared to 60 for non-Pacific and 62 for Māori in the last in the current recession. And those of us at the coalface know for a fact that there are sole parents out there that when faced with the prospect of job search when their child turns 6, they will go on to have another child. As ludicrous as it may seem, the prospect of job search is far more daunting than childbirth, which says a lot. But it's what they're familiar with. And I think the circumstances in which these children are being born, you've heard of fetal alcohol syndrome. Well, how about fetal benefit syndrome? The intergenerational correlation. Peter Whiteford talked about it, the high concentrations in households where no one is employed. And the challenge is, how do we reduce the enablers? And Deborah Cobb-Clark talked about the focus on family structure, encouraging healthier lifestyles and parenting strategies, not education and income. And it goes along with theory in terms of addiction. We no longer kind of favour the cold turkey approach, but with the benefits we seem to perpetuate a cold turkey approach. And we've also heard today more about the Australian and the UK journey. And there are some positive elements here, but we need to be mindful that they don't have Pacific and Māori populations. This is a really important fact, because when you talk about being long-term unemployed and then getting a personalised service, personalisation, for Pacific and Māori that come from collective cultures, personalisation can be a synonym for isolation. We like to do things in groups, and so when you go to colleges, you often see children, young Pacific people all clustered together doing the same thing. Now, in summary, I had to laugh today when Professor Gregory said, I'm going to show you a real fun picture, and I was like, oh great, some people, and then he put up a graph. I was like, wee-ha! So I'm going to show you a real fun picture. Well, I hope. So this is it up there? Okay, this is my son Roma. And it reminded me of yesterday, really. I was looking at some family photos last night, and this picture reminded me of yesterday because we started off looking at OECD statistics, and what we had like this is a pretty good picture. But if you look closely, it's not a perfect picture. If you look, you can't see it very well up there, but he's got a bit of teething rash, and as my partner will say, Gerardine, you didn't have a look at the background. It's not a great background. And that was kind of like what we saw in the morning. And then Dame Iritana Tawhiwhirangi spoke, and she said, hang on a minute, take a step back and let's really have a good look at this picture. We're not seeing everything. All I'm hearing is money, money, money. So if we then what we have here, when we take a step back, is that after Dame Tawhiwhirangi, we then went into plenary sessions and we started to see the bigger picture. And in the bigger picture, we see a variety of risks, and we see really some of the problems. And if we took another step back again, you can't see it in this picture, I don't have another picture, but there are actually 3 adults in this room watching this kid climb on the table. And this picture is wrong for many reasons, because as Pacific, standing on a table is a no-no. So they have let him climb up there. But it also kind of gives you an idea of why he has this nervous look in his eyes in the first picture. And And I wanted to use this analogy just, one, it's my contribution to the baby blip that Professor Jackson talked about yesterday, but also to kind of give a picture of how complex this issue is. I wanted to end with something that Dr. Donna Matahaere Atariki said yesterday, and essentially what she said was, we don't lack the knowledge, perhaps we lack the courage to make the hard decisions. And it was Sue Bradford also said, stop tinkering and get on with it. Now please don't take that as license to go and do whatever you want. You need to take that within context of the growth of our population, where it's going, the Pacific people, the Māori people, the people, the disabilities, the refugees, and their contribution to our future society. Thank you very much.